Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, if you couldn't tell, it is Bi Visibility Day, September 23rd, and this is a video of me saying I'm bisexual. There's not really a lot of essence to this video, just me sort of celebrating it, maybe talking a little bit about coming to find myself as bisexual and like what that looked like, some of my struggles, and essentially just saying that I'm here and I'm visible. I know a lot of people in the bisexual community sort of have struggles with being seen or being out or being recognized as someone who is bisexual, especially if you are in a relationship that is of the opposite sex. Then a lot of people will just assume that you are hetero. I kind of understand that. It makes sense looking from the outside in, but that doesn't erase the fact that I am bisexual, and anyone else who is in straight appearing relationships could also be bisexual. So if you were kind of struggling along with that, I totally get it. I'm living proof of that and experience of that. And yeah, so I just want to get into some of the signs that I had growing up that I was bisexual, but I didn't really pay attention to them, I guess. So I guess my first really big one is my attraction to women and how I kind of masked that for myself growing up. So back when I was in school, it was definitely easy for me to realize that I had crushes on boys and things like that, since that is definitely a part of things. As far as girls go, I had a really big struggle admitting my like to them. I used to refer to it a lot that I admired girls, or I wanted to be like them. I would see their look or whatever and just assume that I wanted to be like them. So I would just kind of call it admiring, which is so funny now looking back on that, because it's it's kind of a dull moment. Yeah, you have to say you admire them, but you really are attracted to them. So another thing I was thinking about the other day that I just came to think about was dressing rooms growing up in school. I remember other girls in the dressing room, for PE and stuff, would be very open about you're changing into your gym uniform or whatever. A lot of girls had no problems with just doing clothes in front of everyone, and I personally always would be in a bathroom stall. I used to associate this with maybe just shyness, but I don't feel like it's just shyness now that I'm thinking back on it. I guess I was just worried that other girls would see me look at them or see them, and it felt very a taboo thing, or for them to see me. Kind of the same if you were vice versa in the men's dressing room as a girl, and being that nervousness of I'm not supposed to see all that. That's how I felt in the women's dressing room or girls' dressing room as a kid in school. So that was kind of a smaller one, but also similar detail. I think probably the biggest aspect was also characters that I had huge crushes on, or actresses that I had crushes on. I feel I don't really need to go in detail about the men as much, because I feel again, that was something I was very comfortable with exhibiting as I was younger, teen, growing up. That was the accepted sort of thing. But as far as women or girl characters, it wasn't necessarily the accepted, so I just kind of assumed that I admired them or I wanted to be like them. Characters, one of them I'm exhibiting right now in essence was Alice from Twilight. I don't even know how to describe her entire essence. Just very graceful, very fun, light, super gorgeous, so pretty. I forget what was the actress's name. Ashley Green. Absolutely gorgeous. I was obsessed with everything to do with Alice's character. Another one I'm thinking about really strongly, I have to look at her name because I'll always forget, but specifically from the Nancy Drew live action movie. The actress's name is Rachel Leigh Cook. That woman, I can't even express, this one I think is one of the best examples of how I knew I was into women, because there's like nothing about her that's, I guess, like goth or like fierce, because like I feel like a lot of my attractions fall into that line of like either they're like very strong, like sort of women, or they're like gothic vibe, which is a lot of what shows through my personality. This character, nothing to do with that. Her character's like really just kind and kind of like, yeah, whatever, like I'm living my life. Especially her with like the dark black or like dark brunette hair. I'll show a picture. She's so fucking pretty. Like, it irks me. It makes me so angry. Not angry in a bad way, but like angry, like, stop it. You're doing so much and you look so good. Elizabeth Gillies, or Liz Gillies, I saw her originally from Victorious as Jade. I mean, that one's gothic, so it's kind of like, yup. But also watching Elizabeth Gillies as an actress outside of that show, her personality is just, it's mother. I don't even know it. She's everything, and I love her so much. NCIS was a show I was super obsessed with. Polly Perrette, I mean, need I say more? The goth vibes running through. Such a sweet character energy. She plays Abby Shudo, so Miss Abby, love her. And then, I hope I say her name right, it's Cota de Pablo? I'm probably definitely saying it wrong, but she plays Ziva. And Ziva, again, everything. Love her character, love her so much. Oh my god, another one. This one's purely just like attraction level, not even just like when I see this woman's face, I'm just like, wow, everything. Michelle Rodriguez from, she plays in the Resident Evil movies. I don't remember what her character name is, but I think her character in there is just kind of bitchy, but I think she's so pretty, and I mean, that's pretty much it. Moving on to a couple of characters real quick, because I want to wrap this up. From the X-Men animated TV show, Domino. Domino is one of the characters that I had this, like, unhealthy relationship with, on the aspect that I was obsessed with her in every single way possible. Loved her and Rogue, I shipped them. I wanted to be them at the same time. I feel like that's also another thing that's memed a lot online, is like, do I want to date them? Do I want to be them? We don't know. We're confused. Last one, really quick. Shigo from Kim Possible. I don't need to say anything more about that. You all know, because you probably also had a crush on her growing up. So, the last kind of sign, I guess, that I had for myself as like a thing growing up. There is this girl in middle school, I think, that I liked a lot. But, since it wasn't like what was acceptable, I just kind of wrote it off as like, I thought she was amazing, I thought I admired her a bunch, I thought she was super cute, and I would think that, like, she was definitely super cute. But back then, I don't know if, like, everything lined up that I was just like, oh yeah, I like her. So that was definitely unpursued, but I'm not angry about it, you know. I'm happy that now I've come into the time that I can accept myself fully for who I am, and I'm in such an amazing relationship now anyways. So the next part is why I kind of ignored some of the signs that I was bisexual, and I guess just kind of like reasons that I like convinced myself in my mind for reasons that I wasn't, but you know, obviously not the case. One of the biggest reasons for me, at least in the last probably like maybe 5 years ago or however, because I just started kind of accepting this about myself recently, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. I think before that point it was really scary for me to like look at something like that about myself. I already have had kind of like difficulty connecting sexually anyways. I feel like there is a lot that I've just had discomfort in. I also, since quite young, I would say, started developing friendships with people around me who were of the LGBT community. I guess for me, like, I saw a lot of the struggles that those friends went through and things that they struggled with in their day-to-day life. So I kind of, like, since I didn't really place myself under that during the time, I really structured myself as, like, being the best ally that I possibly could be. And I felt like if I explored the things going on with me, that would, like, take away from my friendship struggles, or, like, what they went through in their own connection to being gay or lesbian or whatever. Essentially, it just boiled down to, what right do I have to kind of focus on the things going on inside of me when I see what they're going through and the struggles that they're going through, and I want to do everything I can to help, like, relieve some of that pain or stress from them. It's kind of a silly reason, but that was one of the big reasons for a long time that I just didn't want to look any closer or in depth. The next part is probably the biggest impact on me and why I didn't explore more, which would be because of my upbringing being so strict Christian. There were many times in my household growing up where it was made very clear to me and my siblings that being any part of that community was just a sin or bad. I remember there were times when, for instance, when I Kissed a Girl from Katy Perry came out, my parents sat us down and explained to us why that was evil and why we should avoid listening to artists like that at all costs. We'll go to hell if we are gay or lesbian, etc. I didn't even know what bisexual was back then, or that was a thing. I was already struggling with the idea of what being gay or lesbian was because I was taught that it was just pure evil, so to avoid any knowledge on it at all costs or any thoughts of it at all costs. Like I said before, when I was younger, I did have friends who were out, and those that I did have over was always such a struggle because my parents would tell me they were a bad influence. There was a time for my birthday that my friend and her at the time girlfriend came over for my birthday, and my mom asked me to make sure that they didn't hug or kiss at all in front of my younger sister because they would influence her or, like, turn her or something. Another memory I have is when pride marriage was first legalized, and my parents for that entire week stomped around the house, talked about brands that they were going to stop supporting because they supported LGBT plus community, the whole shebang. It was a really difficult house to grow up in. My dad used to say gay slurs all the time. Just, I don't know, I think when you grow up in a household like that, afraid to even express any part of yourself, you start to suppress the parts of yourself that you know could be perceived as bad or evil. I did the same thing whenever I was first discovering that I was a witch, and when I did come out about being a witch, they kicked me out. So I think I just sort of, any other part of me that there was to express, I started to lock it away and be fearful to express anything because any part of me that there was to express was just perceived as bad or evil. So yeah. Another part not connecting to that part is the fact that I was already in a relationship with a man. Coming out about being bisexual to someone you're in a relationship with who is not, like, bisexual or is straight. It was terrifying to open up about something like that because I was afraid that maybe my relationship would end because of that, or it wouldn't be taken seriously. Not because anything that has been said to me by him, but just by my own past related to people that I trust not loving me for all the parts of me. So I think that was another really big one that scared me. So now we are at the current time and pace with the now where I'm at with my bisexuality and everything. I am so grateful and happy to be in a safe place now where I can express who I am, all of the pieces of me, without fear of being rejected for anything anymore. I feel like this is truly the time in my life where I've just discovered so many things about myself, and it's kind of this exciting, scary, trailblazing sort of journey. I've been discovering a lot of like nerdy stuff again that I'm into, stuff that I was super nerdy that I never even looked at, like D&D. I'm able to play games, and I'm sharing playing games on my channel with you guys, which is kind of scary. And I'm starting to do all of the things that people said I never could do, or that wouldn't make sense, or evil, or whatever. I feel like I've stopped taking in what other people's expectations are me, especially throughout family and stuff like that, and just started truly living to who I am. And I love myself for all parts of me, and this is a huge part of me and my journey so far. And even being in a relationship with a man does not make me any less bisexual. Dorian has been so graceful and loving towards me and accepting me for who I am. And honestly, it doesn't bear any amount of weight of negativity in my relationship. So as kind of an end to this video, I just wanted to say I am here, I am visible, I am real. Bisexuals are real. If you have felt any of these things, you are questioning, or maybe you're even firm in your belief of knowing that you're bisexual, I'm so happy for you, and I just want you to know you're not faking it, I'm not faking it. Please know you are allowed to love and celebrate yourself on your journey, no matter where you are in it, no matter what part of the spectrum you are on here. I genuinely hope you can find love and validation within yourself. So yeah, happy Bi Visibility Day. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Bye. I did it! Yay! I'm so proud of myself. We try and get a hamster every year. Sometimes the vendors don't have them, sometimes they do, but I have pretty much gotten a hamster from my boyfriend every year from San Japan, so he is no exception to that, and he is super precious and cute. I love him. I'll have to add him to my collection. Unfortunately, the rest of my